back. I've got my stoneware, my pizza stone, preheating in the oven at 450 degrees. And you're like, what? You're not supposed to preheat stoneware? Well, that is one of the differences in our new stoneware that just came out in the fall. It's been so very popular. It's been in and out of stock. If you are interested in stoneware, talk to me, because if you host a party in coming up soon, you can get exclusive sets and exclusive pieces. So I want to tell you the difference is this is an old piece of stoneware. It's obviously well seasoned, but if I flip it over, the back is smooth. It's just got this design. And if I flip over the new piece, it has this wavy design on the back, and that is what's going to tell you that this is our Stone Fusion and that it can be preheated up to 30 minutes. It can go under the broiler, and it's also dishwasher safe. So that's just a little bit of the differences that I wanted to show you. If you don't have the new stoneware, it's okay. It doesn't mean your pizza is going to be bad. Just bake your pizza for 2 to 3 minutes longer and check the crust to make sure it's good and crispy and make sure it's done. But there are some benefits to preheating the stone, and that you get that crispy sound when you're cutting it. It's really good. And it'll take it up the notch, but it's still going to be good either way. So we're going to use our pizza peel to slide our pizza on. So I have found that what is really important is to have your area set up before you roll out your dough or before you move your dough over to your pizza peel. So I've got my cheese, I got my pepperoni. I'm gonna dust my cornmeal here in just a minute, but first I'm gonna go ahead and make my pizza sauce. So I like to know exactly what's in my stuff. So I'm just gonna use a can of tomato sauce and add in my own seasonings. That way I know how much sugar and everything's in it. If you want, you can just use some pizza sauce. I've also used crushed tomatoes before. That's pretty good, but it's a little bit, larger than what you need for 1 or 2 pizzas. So I'm just using our smooth edge can opener, which to open up this can, and take my little teeth and pull it up, and we'll dump this in here. And then I use, guys, again, I'm not a big on measuring spoons when I'm just baking, but I'm gonna say about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and I'm just gonna mix it up in here. If you can taste this before you put it on your pizza. If you think it needs to be a little bit sweeter, you can add a pinch of sugar. You can add some garlic if you'd like. This will work for us, and then I'll add some extra things to the top. So now I'm gonna use our pizza peel, and I am going to liberally sprinkle it with cornmeal. I'm probably gonna do more than I need this time because it makes me nervous to be doing this on a video. I've had some accidents. It's definitely a learning curve, but once you get it, it's totally worth it. It's also just really fun. I don't know, pizza peel is just one of those things that I have always wanted. So you wanna make sure that you get your board, get every part of your board, especially this part here, because that's where it's going to start the slide. So just make sure you get that really good. And I have a way that we're gonna test it when we put the dough on before we put on any toppings too. So now everything over here is set up and ready to go. I'm gonna come out and get my dough ready. So here's my dough after about an hour and a half, I think. I'm gonna punch it down, which just means squish the air out of it. And as you remember, I doubled the recipe, so I am going to just break it in half. And I'm gonna make one side a little bit bigger because I have a large pizza stone and a medium pizza stone in there. And I'm going to put it out on a floured surface. I've set this down on parchment paper, just because I think that helps me not make stretch out the dough to be too big. It's just a nice guide and also keeps your counter clean. But I've done it straight on the counter too. It doesn't hurt anything as long as it's clean. So in the recipe, it recommends that you just use your hands to push it out. I just really don't have the patience for that, so I'm gonna use my baker's roller and just give it a push. And I just try to make it even. If it doesn't come out a perfect circle, you can just say it's rustic and that you did that on purpose. All right, got it all nice and rolled out here. Again, if it's not perfectly round, it's okay. We're going for a little bit rustic. I I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of flour to make sure it doesn't stick together. I think it'll be okay. It feels not so sticky, but if it feels sticky on top, sprinkle a little bit of flour on it before you do this next step. Fold your dough halfway over, and then over again. And then we will carry it over to a pizza peel. Just lay out. There we go. And you can stretch it out a little bit more on here if it's not perfect. All right, so this is the test here before we put the toppings on, and we want to make sure that it's going to come off. So we give it a little shake, and see it didn't move quite as well on the bottom here. So I am going to sprinkle a little bit more here, just spread out what's on there. And I'm going to give it another little shake. And see there, it moved. So I should be good to go. Now I'm going to add some pizza sauce. And something, when you're making homemade pizza, it doesn't take as much sauce as you think it's going to take. So if you're getting soggy crusts over and over and you're wondering why, check the amount of sauce that you're using. It might be too much. It's just enough to cover the surface. All right, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with some cheese. And some turkey pepperoni, because that's what we like in this house. It's one thing everybody can pretty much agree on. But use whatever toppings you like. I really like bell peppers and mushrooms, red onions, sausage. If you get some of that pre-cooked Italian sausage, that's pretty good. You can just stick that on there, dice it up. And then I have some Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to top that. All right. Open up our oven here. Pull it out. All right, and here we go. The magic's gonna happen. Pick it up, and it's all about doing a little slide and pulling it out. There you go. Now I'm gonna get my other one ready. I won't make you watch me make that one. But that's all there is to it. When it's time to come out, if you're making multiple and you only have one stone, you can use your pizza peel. Even if you are using an old stone, you can still do that and make multiple pizzas, and then you'll have a preheated stone for the second one. Otherwise, you can just pull it all out and cut it up on there, just like you normally would. So thanks for watching. Happy Friday, guys.